we're getting started, and I am just getting used to the streaming platform. So, still going through a little bit of setup. Alright, so we are going to make a story using Story Machine. I'm getting this idea from one of the people I'm working with. We'll figure out if I can name names later. But first off, we're going to create a new story, and this is the delivery. Alright, we have just kind of a brain dump here. And it doesn't really matter exactly what you put here as long as you cover everything that you care about, because then we'll continue to characters and we'll generate our characters. So as it's generating characters, it'll create however many characters it needs for the story. This is actually just all the references, whether it's character references or place references. And you can see as it's starting to come in here, it's generating these characters. If the cards don't show up yet, I'll get the cards streaming in later. But now we have Milo, Iris, Ezra. All these people are characters that we're going to work the stage. So let's generate here. Ezra the barista. This seems a little too down. Let's get another image. Works pretty well. One of the things that you'll need to do is make sure that these names that are tags for the program to understand what you're referring to in the image generation, that those are somewhat unique. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to just add care or some other prefix or suffix to make sure that it's not going to mix that up with anything. And so now that we have this like care Milo, care Iris, it'll make sure that when we do those references aren't going to be like misunderstood.
Hi, my name is Rachel.
We leave Rachel as Iris, but we're going to want some other...
Hi, my name is Adam. Hi, my name is Antoni.
Hi, my name is Daniel.
I'll have you be Antoni.
Hi, my name is Arnold.
Hi, my name is Callum.
We'll go with Callum. He sounds a little evil, but that's fine. And then Charlotte.
Hi, my name is Charlotte.
Yeah, that works for me. So now we have voices, we have stories, elements. We'll generate, let's say, 20 shots. Not 620, but 20 shots. You can generate a lot of shots. Most importantly, you're going to need to be a human in the loop here. So while those are generating, we can go and consider. Alright, music's too loud. music turned down. That should be better. Okay, and let's go to the stream, check the stream stuff. Cool. This is weird. There we go, okay. Awesome. I sound really far away. Let's try to fix this audio stuff before I go too much further. It is saying it's pretty loud now. Okay. Let's turn the audio for other things down a little bit, I guess. Turn down 20 decibels for the screen capture. And then, sorry for the echo for everybody, but I am going to listen to this myself. All right, that sounds like it's doing better. Excellent. I think I just didn't have the microphone angled properly. I got a new headset that has an integrated mic, so I can do this much more easily. Okay, so in that time that we were fixing the audio, our shots generated. One of the things that we can do is go here and do like Care Milo. And with Care Milo, we can add references. So we can just go, hey, you know what my text says? There's Care Milo. One of the things I'm going to want to do is get him in a delivery van. So I am going to make a delivery van reference image. And let's get a delivery van reference image so that we can I'll also probably want to just check, that's definitely not good enough, if any of these are actual names of places. I don't know exactly what I'm going for here. Definitely not that with the rack on top. But I just want to get a decent delivery van that looks like it's somewhat professional. I think this will do. Let's see if the edit image works for the removable background. And then what I want to do with that delivery van is to go here. Well, first, this is delivery van. We got our history of delivery vans, so we can always go back. Actually, kind of like this one. But remove the top rack. So we'll see if we can get the top rack removed from this delivery van, and we'll use that. It's also got the company name Delivery, so I'm not going to worry about it might be a company name or something. Right, this is our client, so she's not actually going to be appearing in this film. Charlotte or Sage might be showing up. The edit is causing me problems today. The delivery. Go to settings. Let's use Flux for now. Do an edit of remove the top rack from the van. With all these different services, sometimes one will break, and you can just easily switch to a different service in the meantime while we get that fixed. Although if it's just the edit image functionality that goes down, that will require a bit more work. All right, but in the meantime, we will continue through and do this combination. So I'm going to want two references. I'm going to want Carmelo and delivery van. And we're going to generate this image. This is so that we can have a combined reference for later on. And for any of the scenes where we have both Carmelo and delivery van, it'll be the same kind of layout in that delivery van. It's not going to be jumping around any. Now up here, we don't need this one. And we can add in these references. And these are a bit shuffled up. Oh, they're in reverse. All right, what do we think of this one? I'd say that's a pretty good look, but I also want from the front. Let's download that. So let's do from the front windshield. Go away. Once we get this one, we'll go back to characters and upload that. And all of these above are just suggestions that we can use or not. Okay, I'm thinking that works. And then we can have those as references as well. So this will be Milo van front. And this will be Milo van side. back to the shots. For inspiration, we are just going to go through and have all of these generate. And use Caramelo. Capitalization doesn't really matter here. Why is paste not working? Oh, right. I forgot to do that. That. Boom. That. Regenerate. And this will automatically queue the image generations that it can't do in parallel, but it can do a few in parallel. So it's doing some. Oh, right. While that's generating, we'll have to wait. So this is all giving inspiration more than it is the actual like set of videos that I'm going to use. It's using iris. Do we have an iris? We have sage. Yeah, iris. Okay. There's also this, which will automatically format this to be better for the image generation. It's a little rudimentary at the moment, but it still helps. So we can use that again. Because it makes sure that you're not like describing actions. Because in image generation, it's not going to be able to take the action or camera movement, but it can still take the framing. Oh, I didn't get the character reference in there. So here, it's not referencing that we're in that cafe. So we need to make sure to add that. The whole surrounded by candles thing is a little much. And you can see that when it generated the shot, it generated the like text here as well. All right, so I wasn't paying attention. This is Caramelo driving. So we're actually going to want to use one of these images, and I think we're going to want to use Milo Van Side. All right, so where is it? This one. Milo van side. That's to make it consistent. Walking away from the cemetery. Yep, that's fine. Milo driving. So Milo van front this time. Sure. So Milo and Sage. So this is maybe just the van. Let's do Milo van side and the van. What did I name the van? Delivery van. Milo van side as well. All right, Milo in the cemetery. Sure. See how that goes. And of Care Iris. All right, so you can see, like, that's not exactly what we want. But it is giving us, like, the starting points for a lot of these frames. And I think we have all the frames in. I'm just going to do a quick refresh, and that'll condense everything. So now we're in the compact states, which allows us to get a higher level view of a lot of the things. I don't think I ever want him to open the urn, but we'll get to that later. So now we're going to get some kind of order to all of this. This is not what we wanted. Did not regenerate. Yeah, so now these are the video descriptions. We're going to want to go back into the image state to do any image editing so that we can get a better image. And to do that, we just drop down, and now this is all in the image state. So if this image is what you want to the start, you can just describe stuff here, click Generate Video, you'll get it. If you want to go and do specific things, you can drop down, and now you have the image here. You can take these actions. You can also just redo. So this one I'll just redo. What's going on with his face? Why is he sparkling? No sparkly Milo. Okay, so I'm going to want some unhappy Milo up front with just driving the van. I'm going to want him choosing the package up higher. It's a sunset shot. This is definitely not what we wanted. Just redo. let's just do stepping out. This one, I don't think we want a holographic message. That's just kind of silly. And one of the things that we can do here is that we can generate an image and then use that image as a reference for the next image generation. So what I'm going to want is to remove that, do Caramelo holding a letter, standing in a cemetery at sunset. And then we'll use that generation as a reference back onto itself. All right, barista stuff is happening earlier. You are not the barista. Miss Care Ezra. Yeah. Dog Park is going to be probably one of the first things. We'll have Dog Park be before the coffee. This one is just being a disaster. That's weird. Let's just add these references in. See if it'll do a better job with all of the references. All right, night is later. Library is later. That's fine. Let's make sure we get all the cemetery stuff at the end. I think this is driving back. What's going on here? Library steps. Okay. And all this feeds into the story. So we want to do a lot of this before we ever get to like the video generation. We want to make sure that our images and our story are set up so that we're not doing lots of extra video generations. It's from both the cost perspective and from the time perspective. Generating these images might take like 30 seconds, but generating an image or video is going to take 5 minutes. And so we want to get the quick stuff in a really good spot before we go into the slow stuff. Where is this supposed to be? Chapel, that's towards the end. Going on a walk. I'll be with the dog stuff. Urn. End. Watching lights. So here, This one is both like the clothes aren't being consistent, so we'll need to regenerate that no matter what. And also we're looking at two kind of different notes, two different settings. So like I mentioned before, we're going to use this image generation to generate another shot. We're not going to be using this shot at all. We'll use this shot, and why are they making his clothes different? Da, da, da. See if that works. Saying yes, he's wearing his clothes. This is going to the library. This is driving to the cemetery. The layout there is weird. Let's just try again. Milo never opens the urn. Alright, we'll want to add a couple clips up top. I think the order is more or less right now. Yeah, that's an image I can work with. So we'll use this as a reference here. So if we wanted to just generate it, actually just to show it, I'll generate here. We have the shot base. So this is the current image that we're using in the shot, and we're using it as a reference for our next image generation. So shot base changed to an over shoulder shot looking at the letter in the man's hand. You'll notice I'm not saying Caramilo here because it's not actually like talking about him, and we're not doing that reference. So when we're not giving that reference, we need to refer to it as generic man. In the same way, the video generation won't know who Milo is. It's just like the man. So we'll regenerate that image and see if it works. While that's going, we can also do this a different way. So we wanted to change the angle on that. So instead, we'll see if edit works. We'll change to an over-the-shoulder shot in edit. So here, now it's an over-the-shoulder shot looking at the note. Nothing's written on the note. I'm probably not going to care about that for this example. We could get into very fine detail making sure that proper text is on that note. Not going to do it right now. That would probably require a reference for the note. And the best way to do that reference would be to manually write out the text that you care about, if you do care about specific text, and then have that as a reference for like a generated note with that text. So this one is now over the shoulder. And edit just seems to be breaking today. I will fix that after this. Since it's not working, we'll just move it up. So it goes walking in, pulling out the note, reading the note. All right, chapel. Do I want chapel before or after? Let's do chapel before. Chapel is a little much. We don't need a chapel. I think we need a bit more setup. So we'll add a shot or two to setup. This one, let's just region. Okay. And let's see. What else can we get here? That's pretty terrible. Camilo looking at the livery board. A warehouse. Camilo. Actually, we went. Camilo van side. It may or may not turn out. That's good. Let's do an over his shoulder. Okay. I am happy enough with most of this. Like I said before, you can, like, getting proper text here, you would have to work it a bit to get that text integrated. The best way would be to have a reference of the actual, like, layout of the screen that you wanted. I'm not going to deal with that. That takes a little bit longer. All right, I want a driving shot right there. Ooh, that's nasty. Okay, driving shot here. And one more driving shot. All right, I'm going to want all the scene transitions to be effectively just like a van. all driving shots. So getting ready for work, van, going up to the factory, at the factory, van going to the park, van going to the cafe, and then van going to the library. We're going to need to regenerate this one. We'll need to download. See if we can pull this off. So I want that kind of library in the background. If I just regen, it's not going to do the same kind of library. So I'm going to just choose this as a reference now. So now I have a library as a reference. And we want to Carmelo. I probably should have not just done library. I should have done like shot library or place library. So it's not a normal word because that can confuse things, but we'll see how it goes. Sitting at a table at a library, reading a book. Okay, I think most of this is good. Now let's start going into the video. I cannot spell for the life of me. So you can do camera descriptions. So the camera follows the van as it pulls up to the factory. The man exits the van and runs into the factory. We want to give like a sense of urgency. We can just put that sense of urgency. See how that goes. See. We'll see how these turn out, and then we'll have to adjust accordingly. We can make some of these pretty simple, because I'm not really sure what I want out of this scene. I probably need this as an end frame, which we could do. Yeah, if it doesn't turn out well, I'll see about doing an end frame. So we got those generating. If we were doing Vega 3 generations, we could put some dialogue in here, but honestly, the dialogue that goes on between these two characters doesn't matter, because he is just like following the script. So this is mainly going to be like a voiceover script. That's fine. Let's see if that works. All right, I'm slowly having him look more and more relaxed. So he's at first he's like urgent, and then he's pensive, and then he's relaxed. All right, so we have all the videos generating. And it looks like my hook isn't working right now. We'll just take a look at these. It's a little weird. Yeah, a little weird. Do I want the change? Yeah, this one needs to change. Finishing button is shirt. Yeah, it's better to have runs than rushes. So I'll regenerate that one. That is exceptionally weird. The start of that was good, but the rest of it was not. So it follows. Turns right to follow the van as it pulls up to the factory. The van exits the van, runs to the factory. There we go. I can use that. Maybe not all of it, but it works. Let's see. Package. Large box. In that case, package was too vague a term. I mean, sure. It's usable. We'll go ahead and modify that timing to be kind of just like as it's pulling out. And 2.7 seconds is fine for a transition. That'll do. I do like how the camera's a little shaky. It does have that sense of like franticness that we want to start with. Other than him really not watching the road, that's fine. That shadow, I've seen that happen with some of the wand generations. I'm not sure what happens, why that is happening, but this is usable as long as we clip it to about here. Yeah, all this is good. He didn't sip his cup, but whatever. Yep, and let me do that. Another refresh. Got a little animated look. I could put time into fixing that, but I will not. This one is a little too weird. Too many artifacts. All right, we'll do the in-frame with this one. To do that, download this. Get. All right, that's going to be our start frame. Now we need in-frame. So here we got library steps. Did I? Okay, that was wrong. Oh, that's the video. I need the image. Download. And now we can add library steps. Camilo, we don't need the van for this one. Running up these steps in library steps. Don't know if this will work, but it is worth a try. Yeah, it's perfect. The vans look a little funky. That's probably from the image. End of a long day for our Milo character. It's good. It's good. Definitely don't need all of that, but sure. I can use the start of that. The end of that gets weird. Definitely don't want it opening the urn, but we can use the start of that. Still shiny. Okay, let's take a look at the updated. All right. That's a little weird, but we can use most of it. Get rid of the word frantic in that one. See how that does. I don't know why this one is struggling so much. And it's always worth getting a couple options. All right, so see if he picks up a large box. a little extra frantic. I'm fine with that for now. Yeah, that works. But not the dropping at the end. What are some other ones? All right, this one. I need this the other way around. All right, let's go. Man in shot base facing the other direction further up the stairs. We'll see if that works. This is effectively just using edit, but for some reason I need to fix that, so we'll do it this way for now. Okay. That's a little weird. Let's just have it zoom out. All right, now we go into the editor. Actually, one of the things that I want to do is I want to add music to this. So we'll do a quick Suno generation. Instrumental. I have no idea if this will work, but we'll give it a try. And then we're going to want to add audio here. I'm kind of doing just a voiceover. And we'll see how these clips come together. We got almost 2 minutes. What's going to happen here? So we're going to need to tell the story of what's happening, which is the man gets a strange package delivery request that he accepts that has him going around the city doing these strange tasks that are kind of just calming. And so he starts out as this frantic delivery man who has to do things incredibly quickly, but then throughout the day he does all these calming tasks as part of this delivery, and gets to the cemetery where he reads the final message. We'll do a voice transformation. So I'll be reading this out. I'm not actually sure if, since I'm doing the stream, if the voice and video recordings will work in tandem, but we'll give it a try. I probably need a better script to read. And I also don't know if this works if I click away from the tab. So let's test out those two things. Yep. And I'm visiting the site, so it should work, but then I click away and maybe it doesn't work anymore. And then I click back, and here we go. And I'm visiting the site, so it should work, but then I click away and maybe it doesn't work anymore. And then I click back, and here we go. All right, that worked the whole time. Very nice, very nice. We're not going to use that. Okay. Script-wise, script. Just get ChatGPT. That's the easiest. I need to figure out this extra keyboard. Yeah, not exactly what I need. So let's edit this. All right. Normally, I would go through and normally I would go through and edit this more, but I'm not going to make you all watch that. But I will make this. I will make this first person. All right, let's see if we can get this recorded and if it fits the timing. That one's just getting more and more frantic. All right, I think I'm gonna start with this one, and then we're gonna change it out. So let's download and all right. So we'll have those two. Those two will be our music, and then we need the voiceover. So I'm gonna just one-shot this. It could be better. We're just going for it. Here, there. And we'll get this transferred to our character voice afterwards. I wake up late again, phone buzzing, schedule stacking to the ceiling. Another day of running red lights in my head. I throw on yesterday's shirt, slam the door, and just go. Burnout on repeat. Then this package, heavy, plain, address says only route will reveal itself. Payout astronomical. Enough to shut me up for get me moving. So I take it. First clue, a walk through the park. I hate walking, too slow. But then I am hustling down trees like I'm late for a meeting when a dog just bounds up to me, tongue out, eyes wide, like I'm the only person in the world. I throw a stick, he brings it back, I laugh out loud for the first time in I don't know how long. Well, a second clue. It's a cafe. I order coffee. I sit down by the window, just like the note says to. Sun pouring in as people drift by. I actually taste my drink. Not just caffeine to keep me going, actually coffee, and I like it. Third stop, the library. There's a book waiting for me. I seat myself at the markup spot. I read through pages, and then the librarian taps my shoulder. You don't have to rush, she whispers, and she's right. I sit back. I read slowly. It feels different. The fourth clue, it's a drive down the coast. Windows down, salt air in my lungs. For the first time in forever, I'm not watching the clock. I'm watching the waves. Final stop is the cemetery. My hands shake as I open the package, and inside an urn with the note. This belongs to a man too busy to enjoy life. No one left to bring him here. He asked for one last route. I stand there quiet. The world slows down. I place the urn in its resting spot. And for once, I don't rush away. For once, I just stay. All right, that's 218. That's not bad. Let's get that voice translation. And one of the awesome things about this is we can up that style a good bit. Let's go to 4. Stability means it's going to use my timings. I don't really care. Similarity boost, let's drop that down. So stability is the timings. When you're doing lip sync, stability needs to be way up high. Similarity boost, it should usually be pretty low if you want it to be in the character voice. Similarity boost high means it's going to still sound like the input voice more. When you're doing this with your voice regularly, then that can work out to have the similarity boost high. But if you're ever doing like a VO3, trying to get like a character voice pass through on the VO3, you do high stability, very low similarity, and don't go too high on the style either, so that the lip sync stays very similar to the actual performance, but it goes more into the character and less on the bass voice that the VO3 output. So let's get that transforming. And then I'll need to trim that audio down a little bit, but not too bad. This one I don't think I have working in the background, so I'm going to just leave that there. Good, good. We're going to just straight add this to the timeline. I don't need to hear it, I guess. And the dragging is not working great.
Schedule stacking to the ceiling. Another day of running red lights in my head. I throw on yesterday's shirt, slam the door, and just go. Burnout on.
All right. I need to fix the kind of base timing here, because it's not bringing in the timings properly. And then music. Frantic first. We're going to pull this back, which I think like here, that's a good switch point. Yeah, there, and then play had to be there. Add audio, and we'll get the calmer music. And the audio automatically does this stacking. It can be a little disorienting when you're dragging things around, but it works out pretty well.
I throw a stick. Brings it back. I laugh out loud for the first time in I don't know how long. Well, a second clip.
All right, we are going to turn the volume on this way down. Same with this one, but not quite as much. It's not as frantic. And this we're going to turn all the way up to that 100%.
Stick. He brings us back. I laugh out loud for the first time in I don't know how long. Well, a second clue. It's a cafe. I order coffee. I sit down by the window, just like the note says to. Sun pouring in as people drift by. I actually taste my drink. Not just caffeine to keep me going. Actually coffee, and I like it. Third, eat at but then I am hustling down trees like I'm late for what's up to me. Now, I swear.
All right. I am pushing this to the limits because I haven't done smart loading unloading of the clips. And so we're going to cut this down a little bit, I guess. That one is good. This one will have all the time. Now we need to work on timing. And so with timings, we start at the beginning, because that's a very good place to start.
I wake up late again, phone buzzing, schedule stacking to the ceiling. Another day of running red lights in my head. I throw on yesterday's shirt, slam the door, and just go. Burnout on repeat. Then this package, heavy, plain, address says only, route will reveal itself. Payout astronomical. Enough to shut me up for, get me moving. So I take it. First clue, a walk through the park. I hate walking, too slow. But then I am hustling down trees like I'm late for a meeting when a dog just bounds up to me. Tongue out, nice.
Okay. Let's cut that one here. That's fine. And I want to get the timing here,
Now,
right?
eyes wide, like I'm the only. Bounds up to me, tongue out, eyes wide, to me, tongue out, eyes wide, like. for the first time in I don't know how long. Well, a second clue. It's a cafe. I order coffee. I sit down by the window, just like the note says to. Sun pouring in as people drift by. I actually taste my drink. Not just caffeine to keep me going. Actually coffee, and I like it. Third stop, the library. There's a book waiting for me. I see it myself in the markout spot. I read 3 pages and...
All right, we need to fix this shot. Let's go back. Scrolling down. Here we go. We were generating this image. So we're going to select this one for the start. We're going to select this one for the end. And then we're going to regenerate with the start in frame, which is going to use Cling for start in frame since they're currently the best at that. We'll see if it can like pan to the left as the man climbs the steps. Hopefully that'll work. In the meantime, we can continue with the editor. And like I said, it's a lot for it to load, so it's going to be a little slow with the multi-minute stuff going in. Okay, and we were library. So we'll just assume that we work this out.
The librarian taps my shoulder. You don't have to rush, she whispers. And then she's right. She whispers. And then she's right. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush, she whispers. And then she's right. I sit back. I read slowly. It feels different. The fourth clue is to drive down the coast. Windows down, salt air in my lungs. Salt air in. For the first time in forever, I'm not watching the clock. I'm watching the waves. As I open watching the clock. I'm watching the waves. The clock. I'm watching the waves. Final stop is the cemetery. My hands shake as I open the package, and inside an urn with the note. This belongs to a man too busy to enjoy life. No one left to bring him here. He asked for one last route. I stand there quiet. The world slows down. I place the urn in its resting spot. And for once, I don't rush away.
All right, so I feel like we need one more shot here.
Stop is the cemetery. My hands shake as I open the package, and inside an urn with the note. This belongs to a man too busy to enjoy life. No one left to bring him here. He asked for one last route. I stand there quiet.
I feel like this... Yeah, I know what I need. We're gonna have one more shot. It's gonna be based on this. So let's get that. It doesn't actually matter where you place it here. I just like to do that for organization. So it's going to be here. We're going to have Sunset Cemetery. Oh, right. I need the image. Not the video. We're going to do a close-up on Carmelo. Watches the sunset in Sunset Cemetery. There we go. And in the meantime, let's check in on the shot. The face goes all over the place, but we're going to go with it. It wasn't a great start anyway. Let's double check the editor on that shot. Sometimes it hasn't updated in editor, so I'm just coming here to make sure that on regenerating a shot, that shot updates itself in the editor.
There's a book waiting for me.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Spotted. Then the library.
Okay. All right, we're going to have him watch the sunset and smile. And you can see there's lots of places that there could be improvements, both in the platform itself and in the video I'm making here. But this is a lot of just running through a singular video generation so that you can see start to finish how I'm making this video. You can also see that this is more or less an hour of effort to a minute of video. That's from like concept to completion. At a higher polish level, that would expand quite a bit. But this is already, I'm decently happy with the story being told in this way. Having it do the voiceover is, perfectly fine. So we do need this shot to finish generating. And my hook right now is not doing great, so we're going to have to just refresh to see it come in. Once we get it finished, we have the player here. That's a little bit better on memory management, and you're able to play through the whole thing.
I wake up late again, phone buzzing, schedule stacking to the ceiling. Another day of running red lights in my head. I throw on yesterday's shirt, slam the door, and just go. Burnout on repeat. Then this package, heavy, plain, address says only, route will reveal itself. Payout astronomical. Enough to shut me up for get me moving. So I take it. First clue, a walk through the park. I hate walking, too slow. But then I am hustling down trees like I'm late for a meeting when a dog just bounds up to me, tongue out, eyes wide, like I'm the only person in the world. I throw a stick, he brings it back, I laugh out loud for the first time in I don't know how long. Well, a second clue, it's a cafe. I order coffee, I sit down by the window, just like the note says to. Sun pouring in as people drift by.
Some of the audio doesn't always come
Taste
through.
my drink, not just caffeine to keep me going, actually coffee and...
All right, so let's go back to shots. This should be done by now. Not quite, it looks like. Yeah, I'm working on making sure all the audio flows through. You could tell in the player that second music didn't come in. And so I'm going to need to fix that. All right. So close, so close. I'm not sure that is. Let it go through for now. Come on. Normally you can parallelize stuff, but I think this is the last thing. So we're just waiting here. This one last piece. Let me check my edge functions. See if there's any errors. All right, time is 12:28. Check the callbacks. All right, should have just completed. There we go. That is exactly what I needed. Awesome. So if you're like mid-edit, I don't want to just throw things in. It was a big, it's a decision point. And I would love feedback on this because I'm not sure what the right answer is. But adding a new clip like that and then having the editor here with things already in progress, I wasn't sure where I should really be adding it in, or if I should automatically just throw it in, because I can throw timings off. So now, manually adding that shot in. So let's take a look at these timings. Have that be a little longer. There we go.
One last route. I stand there quiet. The world slows down. I place the urn in its resting spot. And for once, I don't rush away. For once, I just stay. I place the urn in its resting spot. And for once, I don't rush away. For once, I just stay. For once, I just stay.
All right. let's clip this. I need to add in better clipping for sure. For now, I have to do this. I know it's silly. I will get it fixed. Go to there. Nice. Player. Export video. So this is going to take the settings from our editor and combine them into an actual like single video file. We'll be able to up resolution that if we want to. I'm not going to on this one. It's going to be, yeah, the details on this are not as important. But we can also, once it does that full export, watch the full video all the way through, and it should all come together. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Yep, only 3 tracks of audio. If you get really high tracks of audio, sometimes it messes up. It won't actually like combine everything at the right timings. Yep, it's coming together. So you can see it's still processing. It's over 2 minutes, so I think it's a pretty good successful video generation session. There we go. Let's put this full screen. Although I do realize that I think it's going to cut off the top, isn't it? A little, not really. It's fine.
I wake up late again, phone buzzing, schedule stacking to the ceiling. Another day of running red lights in my head. I throw on yesterday's shirt, slam the door, and just go. Burn out on repeat. Then this package, heavy, plain, address says only route will reveal itself. Payout astronomical. Enough to shut me up for get me moving. So I take it. First clue, a walk through the park. I hate walking, too slow. But then I am hustling down trees like I'm late for a meeting when a dog just bounds up to me, tongue out, eyes wide, like I'm the only person in the world. I throw a stick, he brings it back, I laugh out loud for the first time in I don't know how long. Well, a second clue is a cafe. I order coffee, I sit down by the window, just like the note says to. Sun pouring in as people drift by. I actually taste my drink, not just caffeine to keep me going, actually coffee, and I like it. Third stop, the library. There's a book waiting for me. I seat myself in the markdown spot. I read 3 pages, and then the librarian taps my shoulder. You don't have to rush, she whispers, and then she's right. I sit back. I read slowly. It feels different. The fourth clue is a drive down the coast. Windows down, salt air in my lungs. For the first time in forever, I'm not watching the clock. I'm watching the waves. Final stop is the cemetery. My hands shake as I open the package, and inside an urn with the note. This belongs to a man too busy to enjoy life. No one left to bring him here. He asked for one last route. I stand there quiet. The world slows down. place the urn in its resting spot. And for once, I don't rush away. For once, I just stay.
All right, well, that's the video. And hopefully this was educational on the Story Machine platform. I know it was for me because I have a nice new list of bugs to go fix. All right, signing off.